Look, real estate development is a long-term business, but real estate is also a very important element of the economy of a nation because it's a long-term asset. It's not a consumable asset, and there is recurring value. So it's a recurring asset. So you measure its value to say what is the discounted value of this property, either from rent over the next 25 years, and that's how you determine price. But in another 25 years, you're not going to knock down that value. That asset is again going to look into the next 25 years and discount that value and establish price. So it's a recurring asset that really helps to create wealth. I'm Olawale Opayinka. I am traditionally I am an Ibadan man. I'm a grandpa. I have 2 sons and a granddaughter. But then I schooled at the University of Lagos. I studied actuarial science. I then went on to do professional qualifications as an actuary. I worked out of the UK across a number of organizations over the years, including being what we call a gatekeeper. Then I became a poacher, then a gatekeeper. So I worked in the actuarial profession for about 20 years in the UK. Then I went on to be a regulator in the financial services, working to bring together all the 9 regulatory firms into one regulatory body. I then went on to set up my own actuarial firm in the UK, then focused a great deal on large real estate developments and large infrastructure projects. And then I came back into Nigeria almost about 2009, which is about 12 years ago. And in that whole period also, in the last 20 years also, I then also set up a foundation called 3 Foundation, which was to help develop actuaries across Africa, sub-Saharan Africa. So we helped in Ghana, South Africa, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, to name a few countries, and of course in Nigeria. So over the years, that's pretty much what I've done. And then settling back into Nigeria, I kept an eye out for something that was significant that I could do to contribute, something unique that I could do that no one else had done, that I could use to make a difference. And I stumbled on the project Eko Atlantic, which was starting up at the time, and then came in, at the base level, and we helped to see it develop through the 4 stones being put in to create the seawall, to then helping to develop, to create actually what was Eko Development in 2011, which was to be a proprietary development company in Eko Atlantic. And then in the last few years, I've been here to help to actually run the company that I helped to create as the MD CEO, and voila, we are here today. My father was one of the very first chartered quantity surveyors in this country. So I then found that I was good in mathematics, and when he was part of the quantity surveying firm that supervised the construction of what was the old federal secretariat in Ikoyi when the federal capital of Nigeria was in Nigeria. And he had those bill of quantities to review, and my proficiency in mathematics meant that I was able to assist. I got 10 naira for each one, which is a lot of money in today's market. So I got 10 naira for reviewing each bill of quantity. I was able to do 3 very quickly. You had to stop me from reviewing others and to allow other people to be able to review some of those bill of quantities to find out that the calculations across the line and to the bottom were all correct. And so that was my first stint into real estate. And then seeing my father go to supervise many projects as a quantity surveyor, I then got into the detail of the costings and understood that, also then the integrity with which you had to work and that with which you worked, and that inspired me a great deal. And so the affinity and desire to be in the real estate industry came from a childhood. And so once I was then qualified as an actuary to work in any profession, because as an actuary, you can do anything. You can work in catering, you can work in medicine, you can work in engineering, you can work in project management, you can do life insurance, you can do investment. So pretty much I could go anywhere to utilize that discipline of being an actuary. And there was just a natural I was just drawn naturally to real estate, and I'd worked on some significant real estate or large infrastructure projects over the years, and including Eko Atlantic, and that's how, to be honest, I settled into doing what I do today. Well, for me as an individual, the desire to always bring excellence to the table, attention to detail, and also to deliver quality, but also to bring value to both sides in a transaction, to bring value to the proprietor the developer who has taken the risk to commit capital to develop a property, and to bring value to the client who is buying the asset, who wants to invest, who has saved so hard, worked so hard, and is looking to acquire a quality property and at the right price. So I sit there, I was inspired to come in there as an interlocutor, as a bridge to both parties, and to give confidence to both parties. And then also I love people, and also I found out that I had the opportunity to develop people within the organizations, whether they are builders, or whether they're bankers, or whether they're my immediate staff. So my own personality then integrated with that of the organization, like Eko Development. And so when I saw that Eko Development had the opportunity to own land and to develop, prime real estate, then, both of us met, our needs met. We found a common place. And then I became the person that really was responsible for delivering on the first property development, which is now Azuri Towers. The vision for Azuri Towers is really, therefore, comes from that, to bring quality, to bring luxury, to bring excellence, and also to inspire the future. And that's why a long-term business like Eko Development, like a real estate development like this one, it again is one of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing today. And for us at Eko Development, we're a long-term company. We also pride ourselves of sustainable development, and we expect that this development will be around for many decades to come. And so the integrity of the development itself, ensuring that the builders were building what is intended that will last and endure, is also something that is important to us. So there are a mixture of things that come with both the individual that leads the organization itself, the product we develop, the clients that are buying into it, the community that we're serving, the employment that we create. We have 1,500 people working on our development today in Azuri Towers. All of these things, and then also our service to Eko Atlantic as a city, our service to Lagos, where Eko Atlantic sits, and our service to Nigeria as well. And then, obviously, we also had the opportunity to do something iconic by building a tower that is the highest residential real estate development anywhere in Northeast and West Africa. So you don't come or go into real estate to make money. You go into real estate to create wealth, to create long-term wealth. And you don't go in there because you want to be rich. Again, you want to establish value. So you build, and then you are looking to acquire rent or to live and pass it on as a legacy asset. Either way, it's an asset that stores value. So it's important to any economy, never mind a Nigerian economy here at home, where there is a capital shortfall. And across Black Africa and across Black communities around the world, the ownership of capital is one of the things areas where we lack. We don't own capital. And so what we do here, even as small as Azuri Towers, is helping to create that asset base, that capital base. That means that 2 or 3 generations down the line, we can have, second, third generation of wealth owners. They can then have capital to do whatever else they want to do. They can mortgage assets that have already been paid for and use that capital to develop any business. And as you know, small, medium enterprises are the lifeline of any economy. But the capital that those businesses need come classically from legacy assets that have been passed on by grandparents or by parents to their children or to their grandchildren. So real estate is invaluable, and therefore an Azuri Towers, which is an asset or an investment of hundreds of millions of dollars, also looks to contribute significantly, both in giving people the opportunity to own assets, because you have 130 residents who would own assets that are a minimum of about $1 million. So we brought something that would make sure that we create 130 millionaires in another 25 years. So it's insignificant, really, what we're doing here at Azuri Towers, what Eko Development is doing at Azuri Towers, and what I, as the MD CEO, have the grace to continue to push the company to bring to the market. And so really, I hope that really answers your point in terms of Azuri Towers as a project, what it brings to the immediate local economy and what it brings into the wider economy, and how it interfaces with what real estate itself does to any economy. Look, in Eko Development, we own 120,000 square meters of land here in Eko Atlantic. This current project sits on about 16,000 square meters. So we'll be around for another 25 to 30 years, doing additional Azuri Towers kind of developments here in Eko Atlantic. Now, whether or not I'll be here in 25 to 30 years time is open to question, but the company that we're building is a going concern, will be around for many decades to come. And it will be my joy in whatever state to see that company doing great things in this city and in Lagos and vis-a-vis in Nigeria.